Hello boys and girls, it's me, your old pal Raw Powered. With me this week on the GamesForum Readers Lounge is...
Anders!
And no one else.
Hello. Yay!
Which is
We're
alright.
unsupervised.
We don't have that ginger twat with us this week, so... Anyway, no, Marlon's great. He's a nice guy. But
Everyone loves that guy.
Anyway, so this is episode 3 of the GamesForum, of the GamesForum Readers Lounge. We've had it good so far. We've had pretty good fan fictions found. This week, you're in for a fucking treat. You're in for a fucking treat this week, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, let's get going. Would you like to go first, Mr. Anders?
Sure thing.
Okay, go ahead.
So, the one I have this week is by a bloke called Bren Rome. It's named The New Warriors of Rock, and it's a fan fiction based on the popular video game Guitar Hero.
Okay.
So this has to be good. So apparently this is episode 6 of this guy's epic
so
Guitar
you're
Hero
going
saga.
Yeah, okay, so you're going in
I honestly don't think we're missing something.
Yeah, I don't know how you can really make a big story out of Guitar Hero. I don't know, but what the fuck do I know?
It was uploaded, let's see, November 11th, 2012. It's rated T, which is a change. And it has 2 reviews, which I will get to later. Okay. So, the description goes, when the demigod of Rock's evil twin brother returns to claim Rock Heaven and destroy it, the warriors of Rock are rendered inert to combat this new threat. The demigod of Rock transforms a new set of rockers to save rock and roll before it is lost. That sounds exciting, doesn't it?
Oh, it's blown my socks off, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So, let's get into it. So, seeing as this is episode 6, it might not make a lot of sense, but it probably wouldn't anyway. So, it starts with in another dimension. I'm not quite sure what the original dimension was. Oh well. This was a dimension filled with utter blackness, save from a light spotlight that shined on a tall figure who sat on a stone throne. He was large and wore battle armor that was scaly and shining silver. He wore a helmet over his head and that was also silver with silver horns that seemed to look like serpents when inspected closely. This guy wears a lot of silver. Yeah. His gloves had spikes on the ends that were almost metal-like. And his... Wait, so they're not silver? No, it's like the Silver Surfer with, I don't know, like... Okay. And his feet were covered in hard, spiky boots. That sounds uncomfortable to wear. That sounds really uncomfortable to wear. Like... His name was Darnax, the anti-god of rock. Wait, the anti-god of rock? Okay, sorry, go on. First he was the demigod of rock, and now he's the anti-god, but... let's see. Banished forever from the kingdom of rock by his meddling brother, the Oh wait, it's not the same guy. His meddling brother, the demigod of rock, many years ago. The demigod of rock had stolen... bring Limp Bizkit in for some reason? Bro, it's like, this is rock now! Yeah, it's rock. Something like One Direction or something. I don't know if they pretend to be rock. The demigod of rock had stolen the kingdom of rock from Darnax, who rightfully inherited the throne when they were but teenagers. The demigod of rock had usurped Darnax, claiming him to be twisted and warped Darnax's power to feed off of rock by destroying it. Now Darnax waited here for years for the perfect moment when rock would fail, so that he might rise again. As he viewed Earth from his prison, he smiled when he saw the rock was beginning to fade. Thanks to the trash of shows such as Glee and Dancing with the Stars, people were beginning to lose. Yes, the time was now. The energy fields were weak enough.
Sorry, did you miss something out there?
No, I don't think so.
So it cut out for me for a second, sorry.
Oh, okay.
Try going back a little bit.
Okay. As he viewed Earth from his prison, he smiled when he saw that rock was beginning to fade. Thanks to the trash of shows such as Glee and Dancing with the Stars, people were beginning to lose faith in rock. Yes, the time was now. The energy fields were weak enough, and he knew just what to do. He would take his brother's so-called warriors of rock and absorb their power's essence, taking the power from himself, and then would ultimately come for his brother, kill him, and kill rock and roll for himself. So, is this guy trying to save rock and roll or destroy rock and roll?
I think he's trying to do both at the same time.
It sounds like it, yeah.
Yeah.
Then no one would stand in his way. With hard concentration, Darnax would suddenly vanish into a puff of black smoke. So that's the first paragraph. It's pretty long, this one. So,
read a little bit more. It could get interesting.
Meanwhile, in rock heaven, the demigod of rock was relaxing with a pizza before his senses kicked in and he realized something was off. He felt
a mutant ninja turtle.
He probably is. He's a rocking ninja turtle. He felt a disturbance, one he had not felt since. Darnax, he said out loud, realizing what was happening during his vacation time. ... Alex... Okay, this is somewhere else, apparently.
Okay.
Alex Steele was relaxing, having a beer on his couch, when suddenly he felt something wrong in his stomach. Before he knew what was happening, the entire ball of black energy filled the room, engulfing Alex completely. After a minute, the energy vanished, and the entire setting changed. Alex's home, which had once been a mess of beer cans and rock equipment, now was an uptight and clean, snotty home. Priceless antiques and Employee of the Month documents lined the wall, and accounting equipment was arranged neatly on all the tables. Even Alex had changed. His once unkempt hair was now short and slicked back, and he wore a business suit. He was now an upstanding citizen.
Oh no, Darnax is going to kill rock with jazz. Successful lives. That monster.
What a bastard. Alex seemed to realize something was off for a second after the change, but shrugged it off and went...
Something is a bit off.
And went to straighten out the place and do some more accounting. The god of rock groaned in pain as he fell to the ground. His worst fear had come true. He would have left a note. He should have left a note of the prophecy that foretold his brother's return, but it was too late. Alex Stone had been destroyed, his essence gone, and instead of being the famous rocker he was, Alex was being reduced to a snooty businessman. And it was going to get worse for his comrades. Casey Lynch was sitting by her pool, relaxing when... Why is everyone relaxing? Is no one doing anything?
No, nobody does anything in rock and roll. That's why most bands just die out these days.
Relaxing when suddenly she saw some bubbles coming out of there. Lowering her sunglasses, she wondered what was going on before a black light engulfed her completely. When the light dimmed, Casey was no longer out by her pool, but in a rackety, run-down trailer. No. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Really?
Magazines of women more beautiful than Casey lined the floor, and Casey herself had changed like Alex. Casey now had gained an additional 50 pounds around her belly, a sign of post-pregnancy. Her hair was messy and unkempt. Casey looked like she went through a train wreck. And she was about to go through another one. At that second, she heard 3 cries coming from the kitchen of her trailer. Racing over there, she found 3 babies who were her daughters. "It's okay, babies," Casey assured. "Mommy's here for you."
They scream even louder.
Casey could only wonder why she slept with another boy at age 13 in this life when she could have had more in another. What? What? Okay, sure. Judy Nails was in her apartment listening to the current punk rock album from her favorite band when a rumbling sound was heard.
Oh yeah,
Judy
the band that this author blatantly knows about, yeah.
Yeah, sure. Judy took off her headphones to her iPhone and looked around. That's not really metal. Listening to... I imagine her listening to her punk rock on like a turntable with vinyl records.
Yeah.
But no, it's on her iPhone. Mm-hmm. What the... And then there's an arrow pointing up. There's a percentage sign. There's a pound sign. A dollar sign and a question mark.
Oh no, in that order that could only mean one word. Twat.
That's a naughty word. What the twat, she asked. Almost imminently, there was a ball of black energy that, we all know where this is going.
Oh,
and
no.
engulfed the room entirely. When the light was gone, Judy had changed drastically. She looked to be about 500 pounds.
What?
At a weight that even Jabba the Hutt would tell her to lay off the calories. Judy had acne covering her face, and her clothes barely seemed to fit as pizza boxes, soda cans, and ice cream buckets lied strewn across the room.
The Tharnacs just hate women or something, and in this world where rock is dead, women are unsuccessful.
I love how he gave Alex a pretty good life with accounting and everything, and everyone else that's shit.
And the other two happen to be girls as well.
They're both fat, so
yeah.
I don't get
What?
Noticing a bucket of chicken wings next to her, Judy started eating the wings like in an animal-like fashion. Her parents had prevented her rock dreams by seeking help from a hypnotist who hypnotized Judy into losing all her self-confidence and crushing her dreams of becoming a punk rocker.
It's horrible.
Now, the only comfort she found herself in was the company of food. All around the world, rockers were being reformed and fast. John Napalm was now an out-of-date disco dancer. Shirley Crowley became a...
Wait. So the punk rocker actually has a nice life as a disco dancer, but still.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. What about the next one?
Shirley Crowley became a school teacher. That's not bad.
It's not bad, actually.
Matty Cans. I don't know who that is.
Who the hell is Matty Cans? I don't even remember that one.
Was now a car salesman. One by one, the history of the demigods' warriors was rewritten, their power drawn into the Darnaks, who grinned in appreciation. Anticipation, sorry. The power transfer was almost complete. Now he was almost ready to take his brother. The demigod of rock sensed this also, and knew the... Well, they're in a different order this time. It's percentage sign, arrow up, asterisk, and then dollar sign. Was going to hit the fan for sure.
If it's in that order, then it means fart.
And knew the fart was going to hit the fan for sure.
Yes, the fart was going to hit the yeah. Okay.
It's going to spread the smell around the entire room. That's not good.
That's terrible.
The warriors were incapacitated, and so he had only one option left. Quickly gathering the remaining power he had, the god of rock sent a powerful energy wave out into the sky, which then split into 4 beams of blue light and were sent down to Earth. These 4 lights would find the potential new warriors to make the mantle of the fallen and hopefully restore the balance of rock. At least that's what the demigod hoped. Oh, Demi, a familiar voice called. The demigod of rock turned around to see Demi. To see Darnak stand there, smiling wickedly. I'm imagining him just twirling his moustache.
Oh, Demi.
You have some explaining to do, Darnax laughed. With that, he sent out a dark energy blast, which engulfed the demigod of rock. So, is he the demigod or the god of rock?
He must be the demigod now.
Well, up here he's the god of rock, but never mind. When it disappeared, the demigod of rock was no more. Long live the king, Darnak smiled, as he prepared to go to work, or get to work. On Earth, the sound of a high wailing electric guitar could be heard all throughout Shirley College. I guess that's the place.
Mm-hmm.
In the empty auditorium gym, there was a young man rocking out on his guitar. The man was around 18 years, wearing a blue Evil Dead poster T-shirt. What? Evil Dead poster T-shirt.
Okay.
T-shirt with a black leather jacket and somewhat blue jeans.
Oh, just somewhat blue, not completely
yeah.
blue. Just somewhat.
Not like blue, just a little bit blue.
Yeah.
His hairstyle was a light brown short style haircut, and he had significantly large muscles. The guitar he held in his hands was one he had made himself here at college. It was an SG worn red guitar with the words "Rock Your Fucking World." That's F *********ing.
That must be farting world then.
Rock your farting world. Spray painted onto there. The man playing the guitar was Bastion Ballistics. He was the equivalent of every college student nowadays. He read comics, hung with friends, arrived through college as best he could, and played video games all day long. The only difference between Bastion and the other students was that he was that while most college students nowadays liked senseless rap and hip-hop, Bastion was a fan of rock and roll from the days of Elvis Presley. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
All the way through the 80s. And liked whatever rock songs were produced nowadays. The ones that counted, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Okay.
Most people nowadays claimed rock was dead, but Bastion believed as long as someone cared, rock would never die. His own parents had tried to keep him away from rock, but he resisted gratefully. What?
Mm-hmm.
Gratefully?
Sorry, just to interrupt. Is this still the first chapter? Or
yeah.
Still one chapter?
This is about 1/3 of the way through the first chapter.
What?
And there's, how many chapters? Okay, there's only 2, but...
Okay.
I'm just going to read a little bit more, I think.
A little bit more, because... Yeah, okay.
He was still rocking, and that was all that mattered. Bastion smiled at the empty rows. He knew he would never reach the same fame of Kiss or Aerosmith, but hey, a team can at least dream and pretend they can, right? Sure. Nodding, he began jamming on his guitar to one of his favorite 80s tunes, while singing the lyrics at the same time. And the song is "I Wanna Rock," as performed by Twisted Sisters. And then there's the entire lyrics to "I Wanna Rock."
Of course.
The majority of this fanfiction is actually the song lyrics.
Oh, wow.
So
that's technically plagiarism right there.
yeah, so there's here's a song, and then there's about one paragraph of text, and then there's another song lyric. A bit more text, more songs. It's the end of chapter 1. More text, song lyric. 2 lines of text, song lyric. Couple of paragraphs of text, song lyrics, and 1 more paragraph, and that's the end. So, I'm not gonna bother reading.
Yeah,
anything.
that got boring after the whole demoralizing the old rockers bit.
Yeah, that was just.
I think we already had the best of that. Oh well, it was still an interesting read.
Yeah, it was interesting that someone actually would write fan fictions about Guitar Hero.
Yeah, someone out there is actually that sad enough. I really like Tharnax. I think he's an alright character.
Darnax, please.
Darnax, oh darn that Darnax.
Okay, so there are 2 reviews.
Okay.
One is by Punk Rose Blitz. And it says, I like this setup, smiley face. Hope you can update soon. Now, this is the really good one.
Okay.
It's by a guy called Scooter Boom.
Scooter Boom,
and
okay.
I'm going to have to do a voice for this one. This is really good. I really like what you're doing here. The only problem with it is really just the name, since it's kind of similar to the name of one of mine, the New Warriors. I'm not gonna make it change it or anything. I'm just a bit worried that somebody might get our stories mixed up. This is really embarrassing because my girlfriend just walked in. Oh God, that was awkward.
Okay.
Well.
Okay. Right. I think.
And she's gone. Okay.
Okay. Is that more of the review, or
No, that was it.
Okay, that was it. I was just gonna say your girlfriend walked in, and then you just had to stop.
No, that was.
Think about what you've done.
I had just powered through it. And yeah, the story also starts with the words. No, it's in the.
Sorry?
What? No, I'm just. What?
What?
Okay, so the guy who wrote this comment is named Scooter Boom.
Yeah.
And in the description it says, not to be confused with Blueberry Feet's New Warriors fanfic. So that's a completely different guy.
That is a completely different guy.
But sure.
All right. Well, that was interesting.
Sure. That was yeah.
All right. Now it is my turn. Okay, this week I've actually kind of got the idea of having this because I've always wanted to read this fan fiction. I really like it because it's fucking stupid. I'll tell you that straight away.
Of course it is.
It's a really popular fan fiction as well, and you'll probably know it as soon as you hear it. To be honest, for those that are listening at home that really like fanfiction.com, fucking hell. But no, the fanfiction is a Harry Potter fanfiction called 30 H's. It's actually the letter H been pressed about 30 times. That's the title. It's by Second Pillow. The the description is Harry Potter eventually eats a sandwich and discusses life with a famous author. It has 874 reviews, so we're going to have to get cracking on that soon. The chapters are quite short, but oh god, they're great. They're absolutely great. Okay, right, let's get started. It actually published on August 27th, 2005, and was last updated November the 11th, 2013. So, okay,
wow.
right.
That's a lot.
Let's begin. Like, oh, you're gonna have. Oh, this is gonna be great.
I'm excited.
Okay, here we go. Dobby relished his groin sore's roar as he withdrew the flesh-choked blade from the astronaut's ruined skull. He turned to Harry, thrusting his bloody, retina-covered pelvis with elven fervor. "How does Roddy Ron taste, Master?" Harry spat out an eyeball, like some kid with eyes. Dobby ducked an astronaut's poisoned barbed fist, digging his groin sore into the beast's abdomen and letting a spray of viscera wash over his elven space armor. The skull's eye sockets on his shoulders grew brilliant with an infernal cast and vomited a bolt of light through the astronaut. He was thrown back against the death wall, his flesh boiling in another dimension. Harry slapped Dobby, who giggled. Harry reminded himself to kill himself later. "Master, look out!" Dobby's groin sore screamed as it flew off the armor, rocketing through
Dobby's
the...
groin what? Groin sword?
Groin sore.
Saw, okay.
Okay. So, as it flew off the armor, rocketing through the air like an early dream of mankind, it flew through 3 astronauts who dropped their hell spears and as the saw cut a hole in the ground beneath them, so they fell to hell, and demonic spheres rape them to this day, boys and girls. So that's chapter 1.
Wow.
Chapter 2 is the most famous of them all. It's 9 chapters. They don't even make sense, but...
That was intense.
I love this fanfiction. It's one of the best things I've ever read. Okay? Mm-hmm. Okay, you ready? You ready for chapter 2?
I'm ready. My body's ready.
Okay. Chapter 2. Now, Dobby. Dobby knelt before his master. Harry withdrew his guitar, fuck Slayer, from a dimension where all screamed for naught. Wrought from the silver heart of heaven's false promise, laced with the vessels that pulsed with angels' menstrual blood, hewn from the horns of Satan's generals, it laughed as it was set loose, a laugh that only Harry could hear, but no one could share. Harry swung the guitar through Dobby's chicken neck. He took the head of his fallen dwarf slave and tore open his stomach, stuffing the head inside. Harry vomited steam and summoned a great meteor from space to smash into Hogwarts and kill everyone there, for no reason at all. A vision appeared.
Harry has some issues.
Yeah, a vision that appeared. It was Dumbledore, encased in his cursed mummy armor, calling Harry from his moon base, which wasn't on the moon. "Harry, you must rock the fuck out." Harry channeled his rage through Fuckslayer. The angel blood boiled as he summoned the great meteor, swathed in the blade of the tiny fucklings at Hogwarts, leapt onto it, and flew into space. He encased the armor, the entire meteor, in a wraith of holy fuckfire, and flew into Mercury, killing the fuck out of it. Then he sends Mercury's carcass into Venus, killing the fuck out of it and making every vagina in the galaxy explode. And inside every vagina a booby sang of mortals' life's fleeting precipice. Harry then did fly his meteor through space, punching astral vampires in half with his fists encased of fuckfire, and then throwing their ruined heads into the past where they bit cavemen on Mars, so that history changed, and now there are vampire cavemen on Mars. Harry's received another vision from Frumblegore, who was having tea and chumpits with the president of Pangaea. "Care to have tea, Harry? You know how I hate chumpits. That's chapter 2.
Oh my god. That was one of the greatest things I ever heard.
There's more. Third one is probably my last one that I really love. The rest of them is kind of okay, but I think I'll read chapter 3 and then we'll call it that.
Wait, I seriously have to hear more of this, so
okay,
please go on.
Last bit, okay? Chapter 3.
Sure.
Harry slammed his book shut. It wasn't really a book, because the pages were made of lasers, and the words were made of headless women making godless love to dragons made out of motorcycles, but it was still reading. Dumbledore, if you don't stop, we'll starve, and no one will be around to kill everyone in the universe if we get around to bringing everyone back to life after we kill them. I am no longer Scrumblegort. The ancient man dropped some planets he was juggling. The worlds have shifted. I am Dumblecop of the Dark Meal. He flexed He flexed one of his legs, which was made of pistols, and I'm sorry, I was so calm the rest of this whole entire thing, and now it gets... Okay. He flexed one of his legs, which was made of pistols, and kicked a planet in half. Bugger your dark meal, faggot of 1,000 suns. Dumbledore sniffed. And what of it? Is it a sin? Should a man feel like forgetting a son or 1,000? Why should the suns heave through the void, if not to be skewered by upon our backbone? If not to be skewered by upon our flag backbones. Harry cast a glance at the book. Unsavory sounds emanated from the peculiarly damned chapter. He was hungry. He looked at a nearby cup. It had a faded brown film at the bottom. He thought about chumpits.
I thought he didn't like chumpits.
He thought about them. That's it.
Oh my god.
It doesn't get much better after that, to be honest, but it's literally the best 3 chapters of any written text I've ever read.
Oh my god, that was incredible. This should be published. Like, oh Jesus, who is this by?
This is done by a guy called Second Pillow.
Man, he's a genius.
He is. He's got like 874 reviews of this. I'm not going to read any of them, to be honest. I'll have a quick peek and see if I can find the best ones out of them. Sorry, you were saying something?
It doesn't make any sense, but it's actually excellently written.
Exactly. And that's what makes it brilliant. Just absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, that from chapter 2, that Harry, you must rock the fuck out. Oh, that has to be like my favorite line of anything. And Gumblethorpe, what was his name?
It kept changing his name. That's the thing about him. Like, but no.
With the leg made out of pistols.
Yes, it's like that was it. Grumble dropped some planets he was juggling. Something like that. He flexed his legs, and kicked with his legs made of pistols, and kicked a planet in half. That was it. Yeah.
Oh. It would probably be the best thing in all of existence if someone were to animate this.
I think it would be the best thing in the ever if J.K. Rowling would actually let them put this in the next Harry Potter film. I'm just imagining Dumbledore right before he, spoiler, right before he dies. Mm-hmm. Just as he hangs on the ledge, he just says, "Harry,
You must rock the fuck out.
And then Harry launches his guitar. And summons his guitar.
From another dimension. What was his guitar? Was his guitar called Fuck Slayer?
Fuck Slayer. Alright, we're dwelling on here a bit, so we should probably wrap this up before we just obsess about it a bit too much.
I think we can both agree that you definitely won this week.
Yeah, it's mainly because that it's just that Guitar Hero story just got really kind of boring after a while.
It seemed kind of. I mean, it basically was just 3 scenarios repeated, like that transformation thing.
Yeah,
that was kind of lame.
Anyway,
I wasn't as lucky as you this week.
No, I've been planning this one for a while, so I'm finally glad I got to do it because it's just so fun to listen to.
I'm gonna have to spend some more time before next week to find
an
even greater one, if it exists. Which I doubt.
Okay, right. Well, I'm gonna wrap this up here. So it's goodbye from me.
Thanks for listening, people.
Thanks for listening. Right.
Boys and girls. Bye bye.